Let's factor this by grouping. First step, find all the factors of a times c, which is a 40. All the factors of possibilities, it has to be a positive 40. So I have 40s and 1. I have 10s and 4s. I have 20s and 2s. I have 5s and 8s. I have all those possible factors, but I want to find the combination in there somewhere that can possibly produce a negative 22. And so I'm going to kind of rule out some right away. 40 and 1 can't make a 22. 10 and 4 can't. 8 and 5 can't. 20 and a 2, if the signs are correct, can. So this produces a positive 40, and also too, I know a negative 20 and a negative 2 also produces a 40. So its pair is the one that I'm looking at. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to rewrite that negative 22x. I'm going to split it into two components. So I'm going to rewrite it as 8x squared minus a 2x minus a 20x plus a 5. So those two terms are the same. One has just been broken down into components for the reason that I think from here I can group. Okay, remember grouping? I take those two terms and I take these two terms, but I got to be careful. I have that negative right there. So it's going to behoove me to rewrite it as 8x squared minus 2x plus a negative 20x plus a 5. Now I'm able to separate them out without a negative getting in the way because I have a plus in the middle. And that, again, that's an important thing that we need to do. So what factors out here? Looks like a 2x. And what's left is an x minus a 1. Factoring out here, I can factor out a negative 5. And then what's left? I have an I have a 4x. Let's see where it goes. I have a 4x plus a 1 minus a 1. There's my two terms. I do not have anything that factors in that particular situation. There's no common term here and here, so I can't factor. Wonder if the problem I did is remember, my two factors are 20 and a negative 2, and I chose to put them in a different situation there. I see what I did wrong. I think some of you guys caught that up. Remember, we all make mistakes. Where did the mistake that I made? Because I'm expecting something to factor out of this term, and I'm not getting it. And it could have been that these two terms I put in differently, like I mentioned. And if I did that, I would have had an 8x minus a 20x minus a 2x plus a 5. And some of you are asking me right now, well, why did I choose this versus the other? No particular reason. Sometimes we might need to try them both. And so let's rewrite that as 8x squared minus 20x plus a negative 2x plus a 5. Look to see if I can factor through grouping. Is there anything common in this first term? Yeah, a 2 is, a 2x. And I'm left with a 4x minus a 10. And in the second term, I have nothing. So when I rearranged this particular term in that fashion, it really led to a dead end. And that does happen sometimes when you try one orientation versus the other. Back to the original one where I had the 2 first. Let's get back to where I made that mistake at. When I factor a 2x out of this term, what's left? 2x times an x does not produce an 8x squared, Willie. It produces a 4x. So now I do have something that factors out. I have a 4x minus a 1 times a 2x minus a 5. And that's what's left, and now that term completely factors through.